Nobody saw it coming. One day you were scrolling through your phone, minding your own business, and then out of nowhere, the internet just blows up. Not because of some drama, not because of some beef, but because Bad Bunny, the biggest Latin artist on the planet right now, just dropped news that nobody was ready for. A clothing collection, his own brand, BENITO ANTONIO, in collaboration with Zara. And not just any collection either. This one is exclusively for Puerto Rico, just for the island, just for his people. And the moment that hit the streets, everything changed. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where we bring you the stories behind the headlines. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because this story goes deeper than anything you've seen in the mainstream media. Let that sink in for a second. We are talking about a man who has sold out stadiums worldwide, broken streaming records that nobody thought could be touched, and turned reggaeton into a global language. And instead of sitting in some penthouse in Miami letting business managers handle his legacy, he comes back home and does something personal, something intentional, something that says loud and clear, "I did not forget where I came from." That right there is the kind of move that separates the real ones from the ones just chasing a check. Now, before we even get into what happened at Plaza Las Américas, you have to understand what BENITO ANTONIO means as a brand. This is not just some celebrity slapping their name on a hoodie and calling it a fashion line. This is BENITO himself, the kid from Vega Baja, building something from the ground up with his own vision, his own aesthetic, his own story stitched into every piece. When you wear BENITO ANTONIO, you are not just wearing a brand, you are wearing a statement. You are saying, I know who this man is, I know where he comes from, and I stand with what he represents. That kind of energy does not come from a marketing team, that comes from the soul. So when the word spread that BENITO ANTONIO was partnering with Zara for an exclusive Puerto Rico drop, people lost their minds. And not just casual fans either. We are talking about people who have been rocking with Bad Bunny since the SoundCloud days, since the underground tracks, since before the world knew his name. These are the ones who feel like this moment belongs to them just as much as it belongs to him, because in a way, it does. Puerto Rico made Bad Bunny, and Bad Bunny has never once acted like he doesn't know that. The collaboration with Zara was a curveball nobody expected. Zara is a global fashion giant. They move differently. They do not usually do exclusive regional drops tied to a single artist's hometown story. But that is exactly what makes this so powerful. Bad Bunny didn't just bring his name to the table, he brought his terms. He insisted the collection would be for Puerto Rico first, not a global rollout with Puerto Rico as a footnote, not a limited online release that ships worldwide, a real, physical, exclusive collection that lives and breathes on the island. That level of negotiation, that level of loyalty to his roots, that is what separates legends from celebrities. Now let us talk about what went down at Plaza Las Américas, because that's where this whole story reaches a different level. Plaza Las Américas is not just a mall. If you know Puerto Rico, you know that plaza is a cultural institution. It's where families go, where the youth hangs out, where the island breathes on a regular Tuesday afternoon. So when word started circulating that something was happening there connected to Bad Bunny and this new collection, people started moving. Nobody even fully knew what to expect. The information was vague, just enough to spark curiosity, just enough to make you think, what if I miss something historic? And then it happened. Bad Bunny showed up in person. No huge production, no massive security wall keeping him 1,000 miles from the crowd. He showed up and he walked among his people like a man who had never forgotten what it felt like to be one of them. And there was one moment that went beyond anything the cameras could have planned for. He stopped. He stood face to face with a fan, not a VIP, not a press contact, not someone who had paid for a meet and greet package, just a regular person from Puerto Rico who happened to be there, who happened to be living their normal day, and suddenly found themselves standing in front of the biggest Latin artist alive. That interaction, that moment of pure, unscripted human connection is what sent the whole thing viral because it wasn't staged. You could see it in the energy. You could feel it through the screen when the video started spreading. This was not a publicity stunt. This was a man who genuinely loves his people showing up for them in the most direct way possible. No barriers, no distance, just BENITO and a fan. Two people from the same island sharing a moment that neither of them will ever forget. And here's the thing about moments like that. They don't happen by accident. Bad Bunny could have announced this collection through a slick video campaign and never set foot in Puerto Rico until the actual launch event. He could have let the marketing do the work. But he chose to show up. He chose to be there in the flesh at a regular lull on a regular day around regular people. That choice says everything about who he actually is behind the persona, behind the platinum records, behind the sold-out world tours. The collection itself is already generating serious conversation. People are hungry to know what Benito Antonio and Zara have put together. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Does it carry the island's spirit in the fabric, in the cuts, in the colors? Those details haven't all been laid out yet, and honestly, that mystery is part of what's keeping the energy alive. When Bad Bunny does something, he understands the power of letting anticipation build. He knows that what people imagine is sometimes even stronger than what they can see. He's played that game his whole career, dropping music with no warning, going silent for months, and then coming back and shaking the whole industry awake. This collection has that same energy. It's not just about clothes, it's about what the clothes represent. It's about Puerto Rico being seen, being centered, being given something that the rest of the world can't just go online and order. For a culture that has fought for decades to be recognized, to have its contributions acknowledged, to have its people respected on the world stage, this kind of move carries real weight. When Zara, a company with stores in nearly every country on Earth, sits down with Benito Antonio and agrees to make something exclusively for the island, that is a message, a loud one.
And the youth of Puerto Rico heard it. You could see it in the faces at Plaza Las Américas. You could feel it in the comment sections, in the group chats, in the voice notes people were sending each other. This is ours. He did this for us. That kind of pride is not something you can manufacture. It rises up naturally when someone who made it to the very top turns around and uses their power to put their people first. Bad Bunny has done this before in different ways, donating to relief efforts after the hurricanes, speaking out on political issues affecting the island, sampling Puerto Rican sounds and rhythms in ways that honor the culture instead of exploiting it. But this feels different. This feels like a new chapter. Because now he is not just an artist expressing his roots through music, he is building infrastructure. He is creating a brand with his name on it, with his values embedded in it, and he is using that brand to do something tangible for the people who shaped him. Think about what it means for a young kid growing up in Puerto Rico right now, maybe dreaming about fashion, maybe sketching designs in a notebook, maybe wondering if someone from the island can ever really make it in that world. And then they look up and they see Benito Antonio on a Zara collaboration tag, exclusively in Puerto Rico. That changes something inside a person. That makes the dream feel possible in a way it did not feel possible yesterday. That is the real power of what Bad Bunny just did. Not the hype, not the celebrity angle, not even the fashion itself. It is the message that rides underneath all of it. The message that says your home is worth investing in, your people are worth showing up for, your culture is not a backdrop, it is the main event. And if you ever get big enough to make moves that matter, you come back and you put your hometown at the center of those moves. That is the code. That is what real loyalty looks like when it's not just talk. So, watch this space, because Benito Antonio and Zara just lit a fuse in Puerto Rico, and the explosion of culture, pride, and street energy that is about to follow is going to be something nobody's going to want to miss. The collection is coming, the island is ready, and Bad Bunny, as always, is already 3 steps ahead of everyone else. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.